Week 7 is officially in the books, and the contenders and pretenders are moving in opposite directions, people. Oregon and Ohio State gave us a thriller in Eugene. Ole Miss and LSU went down to the wire. Garrett Nussmeier may just have Kenny Pickett type rise. What's going on in Tuscaloosa, Alabama? Home of Jalen Milroe. Our weekly AP poll, because it's dropping. Welcome to Overreaction Monday. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Today I am the governor of college football. Yes, sir. The mayor of college football, aka downtown Nino Brown. Yes, sir.
What's wavy? Welcome to another marvelous episode of Overreaction Monday. I am your boy Moon with College Football Nation, filling in for the governor of college football, and I'm with the guy that needs no introduction whatsoever, the mayor of college football, downtown Nino Brown. What's up, though, guy? Long time no see. How's your weekend? How's everything been?
I'm Gucci, bro. It's probably one of the most exciting weekends of college football. I feel like that's what we say every week, but
yeah.
They had, the heavy hitters this week, and D now says change up. I'm out here with my guy Moon hit me with the knuckleball, bro, like Timmy Wakefield. I came on,
like
bang, there he was.
Like the playoffs, baby.
So I'm excited for the show.
Yes, sir.
I got a lot to talk about. I think you're gonna have a lot to talk about.
I know you're probably gonna make some people upset.
Yeah, probably. That's what I like to do. So let's get the popcorn ready.
Let's open up with the thing that I know y'all want to talk about the first. Oregon and the Duckies ended up defeating Ohio State OH behind Dylan Gabriel's 341 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Ohio State was defeated 32-31 on a late Saturday night game, prime time. The beautiful atmosphere, by the way.
Loud.
I was listening to the game through the on my Xbox, so I had YouTube TV up and everything, but I had the sound coming in from that game, and I was like, "Hold up!" Oh my God. I was praying for commercial break. But let's get into it because I know it's a lot to unpack for this game. So Nino, what were your biggest takeaways from this one? And if these two teams met again at a neutral site, who would you be going with? Let's start with the first part first.
I got half dozen takeaways I want to talk about. The Will Rogers slide. I got questions, bro.
Okay.
I got questions. Okay,
go ahead.
First of all, he looked up at the scoreboard and still slid, and then grabbed his head like, "Oh shit, what, bro? Like you saw the time, you knew where you were."
Yeah, Glow.
What the hell was going through your head? Second of all, why would the coach call that play with that amount of time left? But that was just a debacle on all, like everything offensively. The coaching staff, Will Rogers, just absolute debacle. Moon, like before I go on to the next Ryan Day hiccup, what the hell was that, dude? Like I said, my kids know better. Like my kids know better than when it says 2 on the clock that I'm not sliding a second later because there's going to be no time left. I don't grasp the concept.
But here's the kicker. You only have 6 seconds to cook in the first place.
Thank you.
You only have 6 seconds. So if you go back and watch the play, he goes, drops back, pump fakes to his right. That's already 3 seconds gone in your mental clock right there. 3 seconds. So he takes off. By that time,
looking at the scoreboard,
we're cooked. We're cooked. Just go ahead and wrap it up. Oregon Ducks got the win.
Just go for whatever you can get. Maybe you'll break a tackle. Maybe you can lateral, but don't. You just gave up. You slid. Knowing after you looked at the scoreboard, we can rewind it 100 times. You see him look right at it, and then he slides. I don't get it. You said,
credit. Oregon. Loud environment. Oregon, incredibly tough atmosphere to play in. That was probably one of the most crucial moments in that game because you need money points and the game is on the line and it's coming down to it.
you said crucial. I got a crucial point to go back because you said 6 seconds, right?
6, yeah.
Loud time. Let's talk about what could have got you a couple more seconds. Yourself,
gosh,
right?
you couldn't go to the pre
because on Oregon's final drive, right? Ryan Day decided to take 5 seconds to throw it in the trash can. I don't need this 5 seconds. He called the timeout instead of calling it before the 2-minute warning. He called it after the 2-minute warning. So Oregon got third and goal, 1 minute 55 left.
Because it was second and 5. It was 2nd and 5.
Had gained
to Noah Whittington, and then he got 3 yards, and then they got a timeout, and it was literally at the 155 mark.
So you could have got a timeout and got a free timeout.
Exactly, just about a 2-minute.
So that's at least 5 seconds. Oh, wait a minute. 6 and 5 is 11. Oh, he could have slid and still had time.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't say, huh? Holy shit, that was quick and easy for me and you to figure out. What the hell's going on? I'm a little confused in the play calling and the coaching and the management, especially in that short window at the end. Like in the last 7 minutes of the game, I feel like Ohio State kind of pissed down their leg, coaching staff wise.
Listen, I agree wholeheartedly, and it's not without understanding the situation. Like, I know people might look at the stat sheets and just fall in love with the stat sheet altogether, but there was so many moments in this matchup that I was just like, boom, play, you have this go this way, completely different story. Play, you have this go this other one, bro. This is just point 1 that we're on right now. Point 1 of this game. Let's move to the next one, because Will Howard, he had a nice day from the standpoint. He had 80% completion. Like, you might go,
he played just as good as Gabriel, except for that last moment is what everybody's gonna know coming down the pipeline.
And that's what the part that is just trash, because now all we're just gonna look at is just the debacle of what happened at the end and your performance to that point. Even that man was making some throws. I said to myself, oh my, Will, you showing it up like this in Austin Stadium?
That a Buka throw in the third
quarter? Nino downtown Brown.
Come on, bro.
Listen,
dialed in.
A Buka throw? That's my guy,
bro.
I said, Will, Jalen might have to convince me on another day about Ohio State. Because what I'm seeing right now, this is looking good, man. Again,
so
we get to the whole Ryan Day elephant in the room. So I guess that's point 2.
Yeah, Ryan Day's point 2. But point 3 is I sat there the whole second half waiting for Dylan Gabriel to mess up. Waiting for it. I felt like
you had that lens, so you was looking at it.
I just was like, he's playing too good. Like, this isn't like, no, because you watch games through Oklahoma, UCF, he's locked in, and then all of a sudden, when the big moment kind of comes, you either get this Dylan Gabriel or you get that Dylan Gabriel, and I'm like, when are we going to get the? I just threw up all over my jersey. The moment's coming. I really thought, when he missed Tez in the end zone, wide open, holding a freaking neon sign, I was like, oh, man. That's
he was kind of worried. He was kind of worried, right?
I was like, that's the moment. That's the one that's gonna come back to bite us in the ass. In the end,
because
it didn't.
You can't dream of a better situation than that.
He's wide open.
Like,
he didn't even look.
He
didn't even look. He just left the whole time. The whole time left. I'm like, yo, that way. That way.
Side note. Is Dylan Gabriel really 6 feet?
He's Kyler Murray. Okay, but is Dylan Gabriel really in people's top 3 in the Heisman right now?
See, Oregon fans been giving him slack all year, so they probably would say no. But from the outside looking in, I don't say top 3 in the Heisman race. No.
Does Shedeur Sanders miss that throw to Tez Johnson?
Man, I'm not going to get into that with you, man.
Does Cam Ward miss that throw? Does Cam Ward miss that throw? I'm just saying, those are the top quarterbacks right now, right outside of Dylan Gabriel. Let's say.
If you're talking about just awareness, pocket awareness,
maybe he didn't see him. Maybe that's a height problem.
He didn't.
But you gotta
Avery
know.
Johnson don't miss that though. I get you. Like we can go down the list.
Thank you. I'm just saying now all of a sudden he's a Heisman candidate. Whatever. He's playing great, and he made no mistakes in that game on paper. There was no statistical mistakes. There were mental mistakes. I'll out the test. Finally. Tez Johnson. This is point 4, by the way. Tez Johnson and Evan Stewart can coexist in the
same situation.
But I need to see Evan Stewart play ball outside of fucking Autzen Stadium, bro. Because if you go look at the splits, this dude is a ghost on the road. He only shows up at home.
I know. He Casper. It's spooky season. What you expect?
It's Halloween, bro. Like, I mean, it's Halloween for him all year round. He wearing a sheet all the time when they leave Eugene or when they leave College Station. It don't matter. And I was just joking around when I was talking to SC about it, and I went and did the research. I was like, yo, homie, fat men lie, women lie. The numbers don't lie, bro. Like, he for some reason, he don't play good on the road.
Numbers don't lie, but I will say that numbers can make things a little bit skewing because you don't know all the context. But I will say, to your point, they both literally had 7 totes apiece, 7 catches apiece, I say, and then a touchdown apiece. That man Stewart, almost 150.
Yeah,
almost 150.
The catch down the right sideline, over the shoulder. Like just dragging the leg, toying with the ball a little bit. Almost broke that tackle. Broke that tackle.
You know, I thought about you when I saw that. I said, my guy caught it on the money. But look, it's the fact that Terrence Ferguson had 8 targets, though. Okay. I like it. He can coexist in this situation.
I love it.
Tez Johnson had 10. Let him. But that's encouraging if I'm looking at, because one of the things that we talked about with Oregon, where is the freaking explosion? Where is the explosion? Today, it was in that game. Yeah, it was there
against a top tier defense.
That's the part.
That's now Denzel Burke looked like he was
lost in the sauce a couple plays, bro.
he was pedestrian in that one. Okay,
that's a tough cover though, because Denzel is the longer corner, Evan Stewart's more twitchy, shorter wide receiver, good agility. So that was gonna be a tough matchup for him. But it felt like Senior Bowl practices out there.
Okay, I'll give you that one. But let's talk about Ransom. Getting absolutely bottled by my boy Jordan James. Bottom, bro, coming up the gut. Just my boy hit him, stood him up. Bro, you met a wall today. Hi, my name is James. Nice to meet you.
Speaking of him, because we got to give him credit. He did have 115 touchdown, 23 totes.
Best running back in the game, hands down.
Carrying that sugar, man.
He was the best all-around running back in the game. He was the best pass protection running back in the game for Oregon or Ohio State. Like, he was the overall best running back in that game.
It was disappointing to see Quinshawn's performance. I know he did score, but nah.
It was man all day, man.
Travion kept making me want more, but I was
8.7 yards per attempt. They needed his explosion, and it was there finally.
And I was just like, yo, shit, what's going on, bro? Keep using him. What are you doing? We don't want to have to throw the rock 35 times with Will Howard. No, we don't want that. Now, he didn't put it in harm's way, 80% completion, but you're right. Jordan James was the running back to watch. Pass pro, look good.
He was eating up them safeties, linebackers. I was loving it. Another point.
Mm-hmm.
Last and final point. Dan Lanning is a fucking movement, boys. He is a vibe. He is a movement. All right. He is the embodiment of the student body. He is Timothy.
Did you see him after the game?
Next thing. You don't see, bro, what busting in the butt. They put the O chain on him. My man was going buck. You know what I mean? Come on.
You can see it in his eyes.
The grass is damn near green in Eugene.
You can see it in his eyes, man. Like, he has that look of a certified dog. Like, whatever his breed is, make carbon copies of him.
King Corso. That's what Dan Lanning is. He that big dog on a porch right now. He barking loud for everybody to hear. Remember that shirts back in the day? Big dogs, little dogs say on him. He the big dog right now. He
he went crazy, bro.
I put it on the table. Now everybody sees it. Now you all can step away
Mhm.
because the real deal Holyfield, he put himself in that top 5, and he's not 5. And we can debate that on another day, but what he's doing and the way he's handling himself, what he, bro, it starts at the top and works its way down. And the sauce and the swag that comes from that man, the confidence that
Just
comes from that man,
bleeding.
the work ethic that comes from
Mhm.
that man. Everybody's bought in.
Yeah.
Everybody's bought in, just like that 18-year-old young concrete.
Come on now.
He has arrived, my friend. Okay? He's a grown-ass man in an 18-year-old's body. Bro, are you kidding me? 5 tackles, 3 solo, 2 tackles for loss and a sack. I'm talking menace shit. I'm
All
talking
over
the
it.
fact that Unk and Ocho Cinco are talking about this guy, saying, yo, number 10, he a problem. He a
Mhm.
real deal. DJ and Mateo's dad, Big Dave, he retweeted it out earlier today, but like, yo, the kid is an absolute wrecking ball. And everyone wants to talk about Dylan Stewart, and these other young bulls. Well, they need to look at my, the Samoan out there, because he the real deal, bro. This kid is a problem.
Yeah, it's a quarterback is too, man. Like, if you just unleash this kid, just unleash him, please. Like, I feel like sometimes they be frustrating me because I want to see him moved all over the place even more. Use him even more. You have a Swiss Army knife on your defense. Go crazy with the way Muhammad was playing coverage. I don't say like throughout the entire night, because there's points where it's like, okay, Muhammad, get it together.
Yeah,
but you got the back end playing respectable. Like, look, unleash this kid and let him get after the guy. And he did that. Like, between him,
Harmon
Kobe-
and Bassett stepped up with Birch out, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
they
like,
did.
Mateo was moved all around. Mateo was that pressure. That guy kept coming off the edge, kept eating, kept cooking, in the end, they had to kind of almost shift and slide to his wherever he was, because he was there.
Exactly.
I just love it. Young kid, 18 years old, freshman, true freshman. I mean, no, he's a sophomore, right? He was a freshman last year. He's a sophomore this year. He played it slightly last year, but like, he is just,
he took that next step for sure. Like,
yeah, and he's developing weekly now. We're seeing, the kid just kind of, this is his chance to be the leader, and he was a leader for them on defense.
Hey, I'll make this last one before we move on. Do you know that Oregon gave up 31 points in the red zone?
Yeah. Yeah, they got out. They gave up freaking what was it? 7 more minutes on the time of possession.
Say it again for people. They gave up 31 points in the. Now, why is this important, Moon? Because at the end of the day, I know that they got Purdue coming up. People might be just throw Purdue out the window. But listen, I've seen teams go into Purdue and not come back the same. I've seen teams go and literally meet the Boilermakers and not come back the same. So when I look at it, that's the glaring thing that I need to see from Oregon. You have to get better at stopping teams in the red zone when it really matters, bro. I love the progression that I'm seeing as far as taking care of the run. They held Trevion and oh my God, Quinshine, Mr. AKA all platinum spin move 360 to a respectable, less than respectable day.
It was like, I think it was 100, 110 total between the two of them.
Net rushing yards for Ohio State 141.
The hell Judkins, the under 3 yards per carry.
Yeah, it was just Trevion that kept popping off, and it's like,
yeah, he was exposed.
They needed that.
But they did.
That's the part. Like, they did good in the red zone. I mean, they did good on third down. 6 out of 14. Like, hey, keep it up. But that's the key thing, because I really feel like you're not gonna be able to go in Purdue and Illinois.
But they got a coach that's not gonna let that look ahead, not gonna let that mantra happen.
And that's where we're different, and that's where I can look at Oregon and be like, all right, I'm not gonna be anticipating a drop off downtown, Brown.
No. Now, you asked me, the second part of the question is, do they have enough to make a deep playoff run?
Yeah.
What do you need to get a deep run if you're
Come
in
on,
the
bro.
top
Like,
four?
come on.
If you're in the top
spicy.
4, why you gotta make it? Why you gotta make a deep run? You
I
only
mean, it's
gotta win.
expected you're a top 4 team. If we talking about deep playoff run, normally you'll be saying like a Cinderella, like a 12 seed, or
You
or
gotta win 2
11
games.
or 10, right? So for them, they're essentially playing for a bye, and
again, they're gonna have a game at home.
So deep playoff run, essentially. Let's rephrase the question: do you think Oregon has it all to win a national championship?
Yes,
I would agree with you.
I do.
I would personally agree with you, but they are not my pick.
They're not my pick either. My pick's been the same pick it's been for 2 years.
Who's your pick?
It's going to be my pick is the same team I picked to beat it last year, and my pick.
Oh gosh,
is going to be the playoff national championship game is going to be the game I picked last year. Texas LSU, bookmark it.
And you got LSU as a champion. No, you got
keep
Texas.
Sleeping. You keep sleeping. No, I don't have LSU as a champion. I got Texas as champion.
Champions, but you got LSU making it.
Yeah.
Listen, what they did we're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Hey, special shout out to y'all. We watching Overreaction Monday. Yes, sir. With downtown Neo Brown. And listen, I say Oregon has all the pieces to make a deep playoff run. However, one thing that is going to have to be tested, they only have 1 sack.
Who has 1 sack?
Oregon.
Their defense has 1 sack?
They only had 1 sack this past game.
Oh, this past game. I was going to say there's no
way.
No,
not in general. Not in general. Oh, no. We like, Moon, you're tweaking.
No, you're right.
Last game, they only had 1 sack. I need to see them get that pressure.
Oh, there was pressure. You saw Mr. Brown run. He had 9 runs.
No, I know he had that, but I'm talking about getting him down to the ground. Tackles for a loss. You already know that.
I agree. I want to see more of that as well. But I'll take a game where you're playing the number 2 in the country. And you came out with it.
And that's what we're grading on a curve.
Yeah. It was split hairs, but you got it when you had to.
I'm just being nitpicky, but you got to be nitpicky.
The top dogs. Who else? Yeah, that's what you got.
You got to, because what other blemishes do they really have?
Thank you.
So,
I agree.
Yeah, we on the same page. Next, before we move on, Boomer, he said, Dr. Brown, what should Dr. Rising do next year?
He should try to join his friend Sammy Hartman, be a male model, because
he actually could let that hair make him
he's got that Western style look to him, get that cowboy look, it's rough because he is eligible for the 8th season.
Listen,
but this movie that we've watched, Moon,
I can't take it, bro.
The same, so just move on,
I can't take it. Just like making all these Final Destinations. I know what happened in the first one. I don't need to know what happened in the rest of them. It's all the same. At the end of the day, everybody dies. So it's like I don't need to know. You saw that man play on
Samuel Jackson, Mr. Glass?
Yes.
There you go, my friend. All right. There you go.
Listen, bro. Listen, this past weekend was hard to watch. Shout out to Kenny Dillingham.
Oh,
best post game interview, man.
I was them jumping in the back, and then he just gets taken away like the Homer Simpson meme, sucked into the crowd, bro. Shout out my guy, Mr. Bosage.
Yes, Brian, my
the
guy,
original,
the original. All right, Nino, let's get to it.
All right.
Listen, Nino and Annie have been dead on from the beginning of the season and even before with that Garrett Nussmeier hype. And to me, it's not even hype. It's just facts. But he went into another hype game with Ole Miss Rebels coming to town in Death Valley in the Magnolia Bowl, and they ended up winning 29-26 in overtime. And my goodness, I'm so happy that this late game slate was so fire. Like, this late game slate was amazing, bro. Especially after that, all the noise in the early games. But this one was one of the best ones because the Magnolia Bowl saw LSU come out victorious. In my opinion, Ole Miss has had a myriad of chances to put this game away, but they just simply didn't do it. And they allowed LSU to hang around And you let a dog hang around for too long, and you're gonna start thinking that your food is now my food, and now it's gonna be over with. LSU hang around, man. They win this game, Nino.
Mm-hmm.
So Nino, this Garrett Nussmeier, your guy. But before you get into your takeaways, do you think that Garrett should strike it while the iron is hot and forego his senior season and just enter the wonderful world of the NFL draft?
All right. Real quick, okay?
I know it's early, but we got our guys in here. We also want to talk about the draft.
Oh, my man's cooking like the Salt Bay, okay? He just keeps getting better and better every week, better and better. Yeah, he makes mistakes, right? But he's also a first-year starter. Not an excuse, it's just a fact.
Yeah.
But you see the way he anticipates his wide receivers. He throws to a spot where they're about to be open. He makes them mouse hole throws, okay? He got them big balls they'll put on the table. He's not afraid to make any throw. He's not afraid to sit in the pocket. Outside of Sanders and Ward, who has given you that wow factor? Beck?
No.
Nah, small sample size.
Kinda.
Riley Leonard?
Listen, listen. Quinn ate it up. Quinn ate it up at Michigan. You can't take that away from him. Quinn ate it up at Michigan.
Okay, right, but it's a small sample size, right? He's only played in a few games, and he's given you one big moment, one big game he had, right? Like one was his. Outside of like I said, Sanders and who's the guy who's in and out? Look at the numbers, bro. He puts up gaudy numbers just like the top dogs do, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can make all the throws, like I said. This kid has the sauce. You just don't know about him because he hasn't been talked about for the last 3 years. It's been Jaden Daniels. But if you want to check out his NIL worth, there's a reason why he got that NIL money without having to play a game.
Big bag.
You know what I'm saying? So
he can buy enchiladas for everybody.
I think that he should strike while the iron is hot. I think that him and Klubnik should strike while the iron is hot. I think they are both cooking right now.
We're on the same type of time. I didn't even think he was gonna bring my guy Cade into this, but
I've been talking about Cade for 2 years, bro. I've been catching heat for it too. Shout out both sides telling me.
We shaking hands because look at how everything changes.
You know what I mean? But my takeaways from the game, LSU ain't done. You can keep playing. You can remember when I said in the beginning of the year they're gonna be there in the end. You don't believe me? Just watch, okay?
And it was kind of tough. Like, I'm not gonna hold you. It was tough because I'm sitting here at the beginning and I'm like, yo, this is the same LSU, bro. They still can't get over the demons that they had before. They still keep tripping over the same hurdle. Why? Like, it was seriously frustrating to me. But over the last couple of weeks, I've seen different sides of the Tigers. And
all the stripes.
Listen, they earning them too.
Yo,
they earning them.
You talked about playing, getting over the hump.
Mm-hmm.
My man Nussmeier, 4 for 12, 52 yards, and a pick in his first 5 possessions in this game. Then he got straight amnesia. 337 yards and 3 touchdowns later. Okay. Let's just talk about the final throw before I start talking about anything else in this game. The final throw, that back shoulder throw to Lacy. It looked real easy to you on TV. If you rewind the it looked easy because the DB fell down. That DB stays up. When he's throwing the ball, he doesn't think the DB's going to fall down. He fell down right at the last moment. Like, bro, that is a money throw. Every GM that needs a quarterback in the NFL nutted in their pants on that throw, okay? He took it out and left it out for everybody to see. SEC, overtime game versus Ole Miss. I'm not talking about fucking Kansas State. I'm not talking about fucking Hawaii or Florida. I'm talking about Ole Miss, right? A lot of people just like myself had winning the fucking natty.
Yeah.
This kid said, mine's is bigger than yours, and I'm fucking better than you, Jackson. And he proved it. Like,
yeah,
bro.
Listen,
this kid's got it. He got the sauce, the juice, whatever you want to call it. He's got it.
You can't look at just stats alone and just let that just be the end all be all with him at all.
No,
you have to watch the game. It's just the only way you're gonna get it justice. Some people out there's gonna be some person that watches this show tonight be like, Garrett Nussmeier, he went 43% completion percentage last night. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, look what he did in the second half. Yeah, come on.
Kid.
Come on. My man was dancing in the pocket in the fourth quarter.
I wonder where my guy Brian has him at right now as far as quarterbacks.
They probably got him outside the top 12.
But listen, I wouldn't be mad at it. But listen, he got plenty of time.
No, he got time. And if he don't come back, if he comes back, we're talking top 3. Easy.
Oh,
Easy,
if he
bro.
stays,
Yeah, if he stays, he comes out next year, bro. Come on.
it will be what, him, Nico? Nico staying, right?
Look, he says Nuss gonna light up Mobile, and I would love to see it.
If both stars,
That's my guy. That's
Bookie.
you know. Another thing I want to talk about in this game that I'm blown away from.
Let's get into the game.
6 sacks forced by LSU without Harold Perkins. You want to talk about playing as a unit? You want to talk about my boy Dubs Weeks? Are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? 2 weeks of straight domination with Perkins out for the year. Yo, he had 18 tackles, 10 solo, 2 tackles for loss, a pass breakup, and a sack. But this kid is the Energizer Bunny. He plays the game with a bottle rocket in his ass. He is unbelievable. The motor doesn't stop. You want to talk about a dude who's finally, you talk about, grabbing a bull by the horns, seizing a moment, carpe diem. My man eats, breathes, shits it, drinks it, protein shakes it. This kid is absolutely, you talk about grabbing a moment and performing. He is just dominating the last 2 weeks.
9 tackles for a loss, 213 adjusted sack yards. Like, come on, bro. Like that type of pressure. Meanwhile, Ole Miss couldn't even muster a sack.
Prince Umali. Prince Umali.
Listen, don't get us started.
No, I already know how I feel about that. Mr. Take plays off, right? So
don't listen. He wasn't supposed to be a part of our overreaction.
Nah, he's not gonna be. He's not gonna be. My other overreaction, Moon, is that drop by Trey Harris in the first quarter.
Are you talking about the best wide receiver in the SEC?
Yes, I'm talking about the best wide receiver in the SEC. We're gonna get to that in a second. You know what I mean? That drop was ugly. I mean, that one hurt.
It's gonna hurt him, but
hot damn, bro, another 100 and a touchdown. Yo, this boy might work himself into a top 5 wide receiver in this draft at this rate. Like
you saw Lee though, right? Lee had 132.
He did. But Lee had 132 because he's the threat that Trey Harris is. Trey Harris is running everybody out to build. Zachary Franklin, stinky. Okay, Juice Wells, stinky, bro. Okay, everybody that's supposedly gonna come in there or be the guy over my guy Trey Harris, who, by the way, I called that at La Tech when he was with Smoke that he was gonna be the guy. Okay?
I miss my guy Smoke. I want him to experience better days, man.
Dominant in the SEC, proving he can make that jump, proving that he's gonna probably be top 45 pick in this NFL draft. He's as legit as it comes. Right now, my question to you. Right now, I sit you down on the table. You got 10 seconds to decide. It's one way or the other. Lane Kiffin or Brian Kelly right now?
Right now? Brian.
Thank you. I feel like Lane Kiffin isn't as, I said it last week, enthusiastic as he was earlier in the year.
Because at the earlier in the year, things change when you take that loss.
But he's not out. They're not out of it. They got
but it doesn't matter if
SEC
you're out of
games
it.
in a row. 5.
No, I know that, but things change when you take that loss. You can't. They had so high of expectations. Now I feel like they really are cooked because they're now in a position where it's going to be hard.
You know what they say?
Bro.
When you take the L, you have to earn from it. So then you learn.
Yeah.
L, and you earn.
I like what you did there.
You see what I'm saying?
Some kid out there is gonna take that and run with it,
But Brian Kelly, everybody talked to him as as the what do I say, the voice changing leprechaun, for a little while there. But my man's locked in. Gonna have 2 QBs back to back, balling, right? Gonna have LSU. LSU is again ranked in the top 10, back to back. He is. You can say what you want about Brian Kelly, but Brian Kelly can develop quarterbacks. Unlike Riley, Brian Kelly can win big games, won national championship. Unlike Ryan Day.
Come on.
So there's I'm just saying, you want to knock him, but then you want to put other guys on a pedestal that kind of don't have the accolades that Brian Kelly has.
I feel it. Did you saw At the end. Well, not the end. I think it was the end of the third quarter
Who's the
when
dude that looks like Brian Kelly?
he was literally right behind him.
right
It's,
behind,
bro.
bro.
It's Halloween. I was like, yo, what are we doing?
His doppelganger. You know what I'm saying?
Am I?
I was like, yo, they only showed like half his face for a second. I was like, yo,
I
what's
said,
going on?
I know I'm tired, but
My
like,
glasses aren't that dirty.
what?
What's going on? you know?
Then you got his twin out there. But I just like the way he adjusted. He said he kept it real at the end of the third. He was like, listen, man, we got some work to do. We have some work to do, but like we making it more difficult and complicated on ourselves. And ultimately, I think that like he's coming a long way in his time in his tenure at LSU. Like it'll be times where they would lose this game. I've seen them be in positions to lose this game.
One-dimensional move, and they still won the game.
You play outside of your mind on defense. I mean, go ballistic, and you find somehow, some way, just to lose. Like we got to give it up for them. You got to give it up. I mean, listen, I don't want to be the one that's singing praises, and we still have so much time to go. But if I'm an LSU Tigers fan, what is the?
I'm optimistic right now.
You're optimistic because at the end of the day, I'm like, yo, even though Garrett Nussmeier only had 43% completion, that guy Kyle Lacy's still gonna be his best friend week in and week out. Even though these kids managed nine tackles for a loss, 6 sacks without Harold Perkins, which is an absolute gut blow, by the way.
Right, but think about how stupid that would be right now. Like if Weeks was just running around with Perkins on the field.
No, that would be crazy, man.
Stupid. Hey, I bet you Nick Saban's sitting back eating those comments. He don't have nothing to do anything about this shit because he's watching from the outside. But is he eating those comments about Anthony? If we wanted to sit the bench, you could have just stayed here.
18 total tackles, dog.
Oh, Weeks? Oh, bro, come on. 10 solo, bro.
18?
No, he was cooking, bro. He was locked in, bro. He was everywhere. He was good in coverage.
Yeah.
He was just dominant the whole game, bro.
Like Major Burns feel like he's been in college football almost longer than Cam Rising.
Major Burns' best season is this season. He's having an unbelievable season this year.
He in his shot. For
super
sure.
Explosive.
What you think about Alexander?
Zai?
Mm-hmm. He had that pick.
He did have a pick. He's had 2 on the year. He's lanky to me. You know what I mean? He's got that lanky size. It reminds me of the gentleman, Kansas State 2 years ago, Julius Brents. Julius Brents that went to Indianapolis Colts.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's our guy.
Yeah, I mean, he is he a junior or a senior?
I want to say.
I say he's got 1 more year. I think he needs the 1 more year to kind of polish.
I would be horribly wrong if I said it, but I'm just hoping that he continues to progress.
He is a senior.
He's a senior.
Yeah.
Senior Bowl bound.
Yeah, that's the guy I can see at the Senior Bowl.
Senior Bowl bound.
Let's get to this other topic that I want to discuss, my friend.
So, can we have a candid conversation about Alabama?
Oh, please. Let's talk.
10 days ago, you heard that correctly. Mm-hmm. They were the number 1 team in the nation coming off a huge victory versus UGA, and everybody talked about Ryan Williams and the spin heard around the world. And Jalen Milroe standing in front of the Alabama crowd, posted up. And we soaked it in, right? 10 days later. No, actually, 9 days later, Vandy pull off an upset against Alabama and had them boys crying to their mama. Shout out to Vandy, who ended up pulling off another upset this past weekend. Look, Vandy, you got your act together after you lost to Georgia State. That's a little shameless plug because you know Georgia State like them. But then 2 days ago, they squeaked past a scrappy South Carolina team, our South Carolina, Garnet Roost, South Carolina. Like, what are we doing right now? So, number one, can these problems be fixed, and what are the problems for Alabama? Let's have this popcorn ready. Go ahead and get your snacks, Meredith, because right before we get to the problems,
Can I just say, and I'm not being partial because I am part of the Garnett Roos. Shout out to Pro Saj.
Yeah.
But a scrappy team, you say, in South Carolina. A scrappy team.
They are scrappy.
That beat Kentucky. Okay.
They did.
Then Kentucky went on to beat who?
And
I want to talk
about it.
Okay, so
let's talk about it.
Now that scrappy team,
yeah,
dog walked Alabama
in
every facet of the game, especially in the second half. Okay, a more experienced quarterback, and they run away with this game, in my opinion. After that onside kick, you cannot throw a pick there. You just can't.
That was just so
okay. But Sellers was still better than Milroe. He was still better. Dude, Rocket Raheem was better than Miller. You ready for this one? Mazio Bennett was better than Ryan Williams. Okay? Okay. And Kyle Kennard made LT Overton look like a middle schooler. Kyle Kennard is it has to be talked about as one of the best DNs in the country. One of the best transfer portal grabs. He is an absolute menace. Every freaking week.
6 solo, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss for my guy. So he was out there cooking.
Okay. He asked you if he was this good at Georgia Tech. He was not. He was good. He was not this good.
No, he was not this good.
Milroe is still having nightmares of Kyle Kennard. He can just see the KKs coming at him the whole game.
I don't know what kind of stuff got in his Kool-Aid, but hey, have the game in your life, young God.
Now, you mentioned, can these problems be fixed?
We have to have a deep conversation though, because what are the problems? My number one problem with Alabama is they drink their Kool-Aid too much, and you don't got the pitcher to do that. You don't got the type of sugar to do that. You are not the sugar honey iced tea this year. Y'all drank y'all Kool-Aid after the Alabama game, and y'all started feeling yourself. You slept on Vandy, and you acted like Vandy. Oh, well, Vandy, nobody need to take Vandy seriously because they lost to Georgia State. And then what happens?
Caden Proctor would have helped, huh?
Absolutely.
Caden Proctor would have helped for sure.
Absolutely, bro.
But
that's problem number one.
Discipline. There ain't no discipline.
How do you be so disciplined in the first half of Georgia to where you just dog walk the dogs to where it's bad? Like we sitting here debating, dang, man, do I even want to stay up for the rest of this game?
You know that South Park meme?
Yeah.
Where he's looking at the computer? Okay, that is what Alabama did. I've been saying to you before the season started that they were not as good as everybody said they were. They were going to lose 3 games. I said it, okay? I said this. Everybody told me I was crazy. The ball, this and that, the snore. Yeah, that's what that offense was, the snore. Okay? And I said Ryan Grubb might have been the better guy. Maybe they only coexist together. Maybe they need to be the 2 peas in a pod because in Seattle, DK is ripping Ryan Grubb a new a-hole as well. So,
I mean, he can't catch a break.
Yo, you tell me in a big game, okay, an SEC game, when you saw 4 consecutive possessions by Alabama go safety, interception, punt, interception.
Trash.
Now, granted, the Gamecocks defense was dialed in, and they
were. But it's still no excuse.
There is no excuse. And yes, they have O-line problems, but I'm going to get to a point, and we're going to talk about it next. This Jalen Monroe.
Right after a touchdown, by the way.
Terrible. Throw a pick. Hey, how do you throw that pick to Kilgore? To end the half, like knowing they're going to get the ball back in the second half. So it was a field goal after interception, come out of the gate, boom, touchdown. That was a 10-point pick. 10-point pick.
Alabama only had 1 10-plus play drive.
Oh, yeah.
They had 2 drives over 1 minute.
Dude.
No drives over 5 minutes. Their average yards per game per drive was 33 yards.
Now, you explain to me. Okay, what were we going to say?
I'm just taken back at what I just said. Like, Their average third down distance was 3rd and 7.
7. Yes. Yes.
How do you expect to be able to cook anything, DeBoer, if this is what we're talking about?
Bro, both sides, yes, Kilgore is a stud. And you know,
yeah,
I've been telling you he's been a stud for a couple years now.
I'm calling it, man.
He's coming into his own. We are in good shape when Imanari moves on to the NFL next year. Kilgore will lead that secondary for sure.
Jalen.
Now, that offense, Sheridan and Milroe, I don't know. Maybe they're on the same page, maybe they're not. But I didn't really want to say this, but it was so eerily similar to September 9th, 2023.
Oh, no, you're not about to do that.
Jalen Milroe got benched after this game versus Texas, right? 51%, 255 yards, 2 interceptions.
Why are you trying to make me relive this, bro?
Similar to the game he just had, right? A lot of similar things I seen in this game, I saw in that game.
But you would expect him to be benched, right? See, Jalen has always been a Ty Simpson guy over Milroe. He's always been a Ty
I don't think Ty Simpson's good anyway. Everybody wanted to say, "Oh, Nick Saban don't play true freshmen. Does he not play true sophomores or true juniors either?" Because Ty Simpson couldn't get in the game, bro. He couldn't even beat out the guy Buckner. Right? It took Buckner actually absolutely terrible for 4 games before they put in Simpson for a half, and he was just as bad. Okay,
that's a whole conversation.
Yeah, but this similarities that I saw from Milroe that jumped off the screen outside of just the numbers. No progressions. First read, I'm out. When the pocket got tight, he packed his bags. 4 sacks. Yeah, all right. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, but in between the 20s running the ball, he looked terrible. He was pitter-patter in his feet. He didn't know which way to go. The Gamecocks eliminated Williams. Yeah, Milroe didn't have an answer.
And you remember the Wisconsin game, right? So you go to it's like the way you say yes. It's like, oh my gosh, that. Wisconsin fans, bear with me for like 15 seconds. In that game, it was it was just incredible just to see him have command of the offense, being able to move around freely how he wanted to. He was just ahead of the wave. But when you see this game, you do not see that. And I really do think that these teams, South Carolina, literally said, you're not about to have all that space to just running around and Milroe around like it's college football 25. Nope, not happening. Literally, we about to come over here. How many sacks they had? 4? I think they had 9 tackles for a loss.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, that is amazing. If this is talking about South Carolina and their defense.
Yeah. And that was with Dylan Stewart. Non-fact.
Yeah.
Non-fact. Okay? Because they had no answer for Kennard. Right?
I mean,
and here's the thing is, Milroe, in that game against Wisconsin, I think he was like 12 for 15 or 12 for 16 or something.
It wasn't even a super high.
Didn't break 170 yards, but he had 3 touchdown passes. But like you said, he had command. I think he had like 70 yards on the ground, another 2 touchdowns. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like 5 total.
Right. He had 5. So he was locked in at all facets, but in this game, he got hit a little bit. And he started hearing footsteps, started hearing ghosts. Okay. You can see it towards the end of the second quarter. The interception. The interception says it alone. He saw the guy coming off the backside. He felt the footsteps. Boom. Yeah. Made a bad throw.
That 3-yard stretch was
Kilgore was a juke away from making that 6. Okay.
He was
a juke away from making that 6. But everything about it looks bad. Now the problem is he had more talent in the wide receiver room, I think.
Agreed.
Okay.
Ryan
this year,
Williams
Ryan Williams
included.
Bernard steps up here and there. But dude, where's everybody else, bro? You know what I mean? Like Iman, Cole Adams had moments, but this isn't fucking Hallmark, bro. I need every week, every play, not moments. You know what I mean? I don't want that moments on a Hallmark card. Like none of this guy shit's got to stop. These guys are 4 and 5 stars.
This leads us further into our examination of the University of Alabama Roll Tide. Listen, if you have serious, and I mean serious offensive line issues, but yet some of your best players is your quarterback and your running backs, but you can't run the football how you want to for real. If you take out quarterback design runs, what does your run game look like? Why doesn't Jim Miller have more on the table? You know,
Why doesn't why doesn't Jim Miller have more? I mean, why doesn't Justice Hayes have more?
I'm gonna get to Justice.
You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to start with Jim.
I just don't understand. Where's the 2-back sets? You know what I'm saying? Like now you're looking at 3 on the ground weapons, right?
Bro,
Shit, you get that to be successful. All of a sudden, the play action is going to be super. Ryan Williams is going to be standing there saying, "Please, Lord, I'm open. Throw me the ball." Like, I just don't understand the play calling. It's almost like they weren't ready.
Jim, 12 carries for 42 yards. Milrow, 18
From your quarterback.
carries.
Running for his life, though.
Still count. You like, I threw that in there. Justice Haynes, 8 carries for 26 yards. Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, at this point, it's just getting ridiculous. And they don't know who they want to beat. It's like they have this personnel that you would be like, oh my gosh. Like, yo, you expect their offense to just be amazing, but I don't know if they even know what their identity is on a week-to-week basis. And a lot of it has to do because they just don't know how to solve their offensive line problems. Nick Saban ain't walking back through that door. He comfortable on College Game Day with Pat McAfee. Me and Nick Saban got a lot of things in common. We don't got to worry about Alabama as a headache no more.
Hey, but what does that say about Georgia's defense?
Georgia's defense had their moments.
It's not Hallmark, baby.
It ain't
We're not
Hallmark.
watching Christmas movies.
We saw it wasn't Hallmark versus Kentucky. We saw it wasn't Hallmark like
no message in a bottle here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we gotta read the writing on the wall in the fine print. You know, even if you gotta hold it up close. But literally, like Nick Saban ain't coming back to. He's done with that headache. It's a headache.
I agree, and they're gonna have to regroup and figure it the frick out.
How? Literally, be serious. You know how? What they gonna figure out? They gonna act like they gonna figure out they gonna change their philosophy on offense. What are they gonna do? No, I'm not trying to be that guy, but listen, it is absolutely frustrating to me that your quarterback has more combined rushing attempts than your 2 top running backs, Jam and Justice. How?
The ball, Sheridan and Milrow have become so tunnel visioned in that it's just Milrow and it all circles around Milrow.
They locked in on this Heisman hype and drinking the Kool-Aid. That's what it is, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They are drinking the
flavor,
Kool-Aid.
though.
Wrong
They're not
flavor.
sharing the flavors with everybody else. It's just them 3 drinking the Kool-Aid.
And everybody else is sitting here looking like, bro.
That's why Malachi Moore's pissed. He ain't getting the Kool-Aid. You know what I mean?
Malachi Moore being.
But here's the thing, my man. Here's the thing. They got to turn it around. Oh, my 3 losses is going to look real fucking quick, huh?
your 3 losses could have already been had already to start the season.
I can't talk about what coulda, woulda, did. I don't want to talk about that.
I already know, but the real people that take a look at this college football season already know Alabama ain't what their record says they are.
Thank you.
They ain't what their record says they are at all, people.
Now, if you're going in to Neyland, coming off 2 putrid weeks.
I don't care about Tennessee right now. I don't. Tennessee broke my heart this weekend. You gonna make me talk about them?
They won.
What?
But they broke your heart.
They broke my heart. Why are we sitting here in this matchup against Florida and you're a 14.5 point favorite?
Because my guy's not ready.
What do you mean?
He can't throw to the right side of the field.
Nico?
You want to talk? Because we'll talk if you want to.
Come on, let's talk about it. Veer shoot offense. Let's just start there first.
That's fine, but he can't throw the deep ball. He's 33% accurate on a deep ball in 6 games. Can't throw the deep ball to the right side of the field. He's 1 for 12. You want to keep going?
That part is his money. That's his struggle area for sure.
He's 2 Tagovailoa.
If you're gonna start, dang, bro, how you gonna start with those 2 right off the bat? You trying to go for my jugular? Jeez.
I'm just saying. This is my guy. I put him up on a freaking pedestal.
I defended him against
Joe Leary on Twitter and looked like a fool. And then I went and did the research, and I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, there are red flags. He's not ready. He has trouble throwing the deep ball accurately. He has trouble, going across his body. Yeah, look at his numbers, bro. He's had 6 turnovers in his last 3 SEC games, 3 picks for fumbles.
But they're not running the offense how they want to, how the Vinshu offense is supposed to be ran, bro.
He's
You
not
can't move
ready.
fast, and I know he's not ready yet. And I had high expectations coming into the season, thinking that he was going to take that next step. So, how heartbreaking do you think it is when I turn on the game and I'm sitting here watching it with KT, and I'm sitting here like, what? Why is the score like this at halftime from Tennessee? And this is the same Tennessee that has to host Alabama this upcoming week.
Here's my question to you before we get there. Why do you change the script? Why were they trying to make Nico the guy, right? They were trying to put Nico to shine early.
Bingo. Because
their game all year has been run. Set up the run to protect your quarterback. And I said it last week to KT. I thought they were running the ball to help Nico. They're running the ball to protect Nico.
Yes.
Because he's not ready. Okay? This is what should have done with both Jackson Arnold and Michael Hawkins. You should run the ball with your running backs, not your quarterback.
We were saying that the entire time watching Oklahoma versus Texas.
Stupid. I don't understand it. Seth Little throws should be fired, bro. Like yesterday. But that's another topic. With Tennessee, let's talk about the last 3 quarterbacks. We'll go last 2 quarterbacks. They got like 25 pounds on them, bro. They could sit in the pocket and take that hit from that linebacker.
Because normally in that offense, a lot of the routes are longer development routes. I mean, you want to take time. You want to stretch. That offense is focused on expanding the field as far as you can. Wide splits from the wide receivers. Establishing the game.
It's been first read hots.
Exactly.
First read hots for most.
That's all he's had to worry about, because it's like, hey, if you don't see it, attack the open space. But Hypo, like, that's what that system is all predicated on, just attacking the open space. If you see 3-4 yards, whatever, but it goes back to your point. They're trying to make him the guy, and he's not the guy right now, and that is okay. Like, that is okay. But stop getting away from what the bread and butter is. The bread and butter with Tennessee so far this season has been running the gosh darn football and playing solid defense.
The defense is lights out, not solid. Lights out, bro.
How you trying to drink the sugar, man?
Pierce is absolutely that guy. Okay? Dude, and the thing is, bro, Tennessee does it with Sampson, right? But it's not just him.
But they
got 3 backs, so they can do it. Bishop, Lewis, Selden, and Selden hasn't even really been able to play. Now he's healthy. I think you're going to see him against Alabama. But
he's going to be tough.
Like, they can run the ball. If Nico can figure it out, or they can develop a game plan to make Nico just play that short intermediate game.
I got the answer.
Yeah, talk to me.
College Football 25, baby. Get into the lab, man. Put that junk in the film room and let's go back to the lab and let's take it from the fundamentals. Let's start from scratch. First off, diagnose the box correctly if you're in a veer and shoot offense. Diagnose it. If you see that you got wide all the way over here, and you got all these defenders out here, what are we doing, bro? You already put the defense in a horrible position.
Here's my problem, though.
Cover.
They only got 15 seconds. And if he's not ready.
And that's where I think that his adjustment is maybe not more so physical, because we know Nico can sling it.
He can't sit there in the hole and take that clean shot from a linebacker. He can't right now.
No, he can't. But I'm saying that
short this window of time to throw.
It's all about that timing. Like, they're trying to rely on him to sit in the pocket more and pass the ball more. He had 16 for 26, 169, 1 interception. Like, no touchdowns. You'd be like, bro, that's it. DJ Lagway, you could argue, look better than Nico.
Peyton Thorne has more passing yards than Nico. Peyton Thorne, homie.
I have no comeback. I have none.
Okay.
None.
Diego Pavia has 17 less passing yards.
Talking about Vanderbilt GOAT, aka New Mexico State GOAT.
Hey, 2-star. Former 2-star, couldn't even you had to go to JUCO route because New Mexico State wouldn't even give him a scholarship, and he wanted to play there so bad, right? When JUCO came back and blew, and now it's Diego Pavia. We know what he is now, but yeah, he has the running, raging, freaking pit bull. Diego Pavia has 17 yards less passing than Nico in that offense. But here's my question to you, Moon. Okay,
I might answer honestly.
For a guy who has trouble throwing the deep ball. Right. for a guy who has trouble throwing it to one side of the field over 20 yards. Where's their slot guy?
Oh, which one you want? Nimrod?
Who you got?
Holding?
Because Guerrero's on the outside. He's an outside receiver. Right?
Put Dylan Sampson in the slot. He can do it all. He got 3 touchdowns on the day. Why not at this point? Put Deshaun Bishop at the slot.
I'm just saying, Brew McCoy's been an outside receiver, right?
Yeah.
Like Brazel, outside. They have all outside receivers.
Thornton just disappeared against Florida.
Why do you think he's not in Oregon anymore?
Don't do that because he went crazy. He went crazy early in the season, albeit it was UT Chattanooga.
He had one game and then he went to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like.
But to your point, they don't really have a slot, but it's hard to utilize a slot in that offense for.
What happened to Holden Stays? He was used last year with Joe Milton.
Okay, so one, I want Nico to stretch the perimeter of the offense so we can be able to utilize some more RPO game and a little bit of more read option dynamics, whether it's the guard pull read option or whatever, just to make it more honest. You know what I'm saying? You know how we were just talking about Jalen Miro taking like 18 attempts? I would at least like to see Nico take 5, 10, maybe. Downfield. I don't mean just like actual drop back trying to scramble and avoid pressure type vibes. Yeah, 8 carries for 1 yard. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like him being utilizing that game so that you can start using jet sweep motions with Squirrel. You can start using Squirrel. Put Squirrel in the slot and just let him go crazy. It's like Josh Hype will be making it more complicated than it has to be sometimes. In Florida, they had the DNA and they had the sauce. They literally said, look, if y'all gonna play this way, cool. We're not gonna panic. We're not gonna panic. Y'all not about to throw it deep anyways. We don't need to. It's crazy,
8
bro.
for 24, and deep passes over 20 yards. He has 7 big time throws, right? 2 touchdowns and a pick. To the right side of the field, he's 1 for 10.
So
I don't make it up, dude. 1 for 10. That's Tua Tagovailoa-esque.
But he has hope.
I'm not saying he doesn't have hope. I'm just saying right now he's playing like a Tua. Everton has to be to one side. Yeah. Okay. And he's not ready. So now you took half the field because he's having trouble reading. You know, you're kind of like playing with a quarter of the field. If you broke the field into quarters, he's playing on 1/4 of the field.
However, it is a wider field in the Tennessee offense. That I will say. I will say that. I'll just say this, bro. I don't look at either one of these two teams the same heading into this week. Alabama and or Tennessee, who we just talked about. I don't.
They need to find an identity, both of them.
They have to. This has to be an identity game. And for me, Tennessee's identity is playing smash mouth, hard nose defense and running the rock with Dylan Sampson and the rest of everybody else that wants to get active. Deshaun Bishop, Brew McCoy, whoever wants to get toast. Because they are most dominant when they can go fast. The fans in Rocky Top had to be, why are we in a close game with Florida right now?
Went to overtime.
Y'all literally beat Oklahoma in Gaylord Family Memorial. My man Boom was sick about this. And y'all mean to tell me you struggling with Florida?
What about Billy now?
Man, I can't talk about it.
What about Billy though?
Are they starting Graham Mertz this week?
He's out for the year.
He out for the what?
He's out for the year with a knee injury. It's DJ Lagway, baby.
Thank God. Thank you.
Hey, I said at the beginning of the season,
he can't mess it up no more.
If DJ Lagway's the starting quarterback for Billy Napier, it's going to buy him the season.
I feel 100% with you. DJ Lagway being star quarterback gives him another year, and it gives him the boosters, the investors, NIL collective, a little bit more hope. And it's like, maybe, just maybe, we'll stick and like pay what our bottom dollar is, because look, DJ. If
Billy goes, does DJ go?
Yes. Transfer portal.
That's what I'm saying. That's the risk. I said it before. He won't get fired this year. They'll let him go at the end of the year. They don't give a fuck about the $25 million. They don't care.
Florida's been more competitive from what we saw week
The last
1.
3 games.
Yeah, they've been more competitive. The early version of Florida, no.
This
Keep
is
that
supposed
away
to be.
from me.
They have a top 5 toughest schedule,
They've been
and they've been in it.
in it, and it might have not. The cookie hasn't crumbled the way they wanted it to in certain situations, but
All right, we're
they had
already at an
Tennessee.
hour. We've been cooking. Let's get into this AP poll, my guy.
Man, listen. All right, we had a new AP poll that dropped recently. We had some major changes into the AP poll, and we had some first timers making their arrival. Now,
Flavors of the week.
flavors. I'm gonna run it back. I'm gonna run from. Should we do 1 to 25 or 25 to 1?
Go 25 to go 20. Go each section, each row.
Okay, I'll go row by row. All right, starting off at number 25, a new entry in the top 25 AP poll. First time, Navy midshipman. Let's freaking go, bro. Number 24, Michigan Wolverines. Number 23, another first time entry, Army Black Knights. Both service academies in the AP top 25, and new entries galore, with Illinois being at number 22 and FSMU rounding out 21. Fire away, my guy.
How and why is Michigan still in the top 25?
They're trying to hold on to the Michigan respect as much as they can, because listen, things could change. Because listen, if they take them out the top 25 now, and let's say some things change over the next couple of weeks, they're gonna look really kind of wishy-washy, putting them out and back in, and then put them out and then put back in.
They shouldn't have been in last week. They should have been outside of the top 25 last week, and we wouldn't have had to have this wishy-washy conversation.
True, but
bro, that offense, they haven't had 100 yards passing out of a quarterback in 3 weeks.
They don't know who their quarterback is. I've been disappointed.
They're on the third
all
quarterback. But they went through 3 quarterbacks, and they still haven't got 100 yards out of a quarterback in 3 games.
Boy, dude, y'all, all that talk about JJ McCarthy this and JJ McCarthy. I bet you wish you had him.
Oh, they would cut up their left testicle to bring him back JJ right now.
He was the quarterback of these Michigan Wolverines. Man.
I like Navy and all.
Yeah.
I love Navy and all. I think Army will be there for a little bit. I think Bryson Daly being in the Heisman talk, and dude,
it's needed. We need to start a hype train.
Another 5 touchdowns last week, 4 on the ground. He had a passing touchdown, which is like, unheard of for out of Army. The stiff armor dude, he's stupid, and Army deserves it. And it's not just him. Noah Short, Yuta, all the running backs
crazy,
on that team are absolutely stupid. But I think Navy's going to catch an L in 2 weeks, and I don't think Notre Dame's that good. But I think Notre Dame will beat them. Okay. And I think there goes your.
So you think Notre Dame is going to get sniped in a couple of weeks?
No. I think Notre Dame beats Navy, and Navy's not in the top 25. I think Navy is your flavor of the week.
Oh, my gosh.
They'll beat Charlotte, and I think that they lose to Notre Dame.
All right. Let's talk about. I know we talked about Michigan, Navy. I just have to put this out there. There is no team in the nation right now that I would not want to play more than the Army Black Knights. I don't want no parts of it whatsoever. I don't care that they're just a team that you try to forget about. And bro, their offense is super hard to contain, bro. You do not play this offense. It's not normal for what we see right now.
You down
the entire game. You think they're gonna start running the ball? Nope. More Bryson Daly. You think you're gonna run it again? Yep. More Bryson Daly. Oh, you think you about to score again? Oh yeah. Guess who it is? Bryson Daly. That kid is probably one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. He's just super tough. Like, I need a gritty guy.
He's wait a minute. Not only will he stiff arm you to the ground, did you see the juke move he put on homie? Bro, he's got awareness, foot control.
Let me find out. Bryson Daly got some wiggle sticks in him.
Yeah, bro. He juked a dude in the middle of the field. It's stupid. But they're averaging 369 yards a game on the ground.
That is unheard of.
369.
They're the only team that can keep up that. After what I saw from Rutgers this week, I don't put them in you're a rushing team no more. No.
And 4 touchdowns and 4 scores on the ground every game. You got to score 30 to win. And you got to score 30 on Army to win.
That's hard to do with how often that they get possessions in their drives and with touchdowns, and it's so hard to do, especially when they try to maintain time of possession. And they be striking fast though.
Bro, 35. They average 35 minutes a game of time possession.
Man, shout out to Army, man.
They've been trying to keep them out. Jalen, I agree.
They could have put them in a couple of weeks ago. To be honest,
they should have.
They should have. Same because it's been said with Navy. I still need to see a little bit more from Navy. In my opinion, Navy's been doing really good this season. I'll give them that, but I still need to see a little bit more from Navy. I take Army up here. Navy's still right here. I think
Army should be over Illinois, dude. Illinois is
Army over
bro.
Illinois.
Yes,
I wouldn't even debate that, bro.
Bro, they beat Nebraska by 7. Okay, squeaked out that by 1 score. Right, they lost to Penn State. They allowed Purdue with a true freshman in Ryan Brownie at quarterback to put up 49, bro. They won by 1.
The game, my guy Jalen left the game only to find out that Illinois had to win by 1 point and had 49 on their head tops. Like,
bro, he had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's a true freshman.
They fell apart. Now, that's a team that the committee is really trying to hold on to, because I feel like they're looking at the good sides of Illinois. They're looking at Illinois in the season when they beat Kansas. They're looking at Illinois and it's like, yo, Illinois, what you done for me lately? And it's like, oh, man. Who's the team that they play this weekend, you know?
Illinois?
Yeah, who they play? No, for real. Serious question.
Michigan.
I know they played Michigan, but who did they play this past weekend?
Oh, they played Purdue.
And guess who Purdue plays this week?
Oh, come on.
I'm just speaking it out into the atmosphere. I don't just want nobody.
I just want to let you know, listen. And it's possible because you could catch lightning in the bottle. He was a true freshman in his first stop on the road, bro. Put up 303 touchdowns.
Yeah. They look good, man. They look good.
Jalen, I'm sorry, bro. I think that you're fighting the line I is. Sus. S-U-S.
I told him that Indiana would take Illinois' lunch money.
Bro, I'll put up 300 yards on the ground.
I say they'll take Illinois lunch money.
Yo, Illinois,
right now, man.
Indiana would put up 300 on the ground.
Jalen said Ryan Walters is gone after this week.
All right, let's hit the second tier here.
All right, second tier. Oh, little special shout out to SMU. They made number 21. There's been people that saying, hey, SMU, dark horse for ACC champion. Hey, they're in the top 25. Number 21. Next row. A real dark horse. Number 28. No, number 20. Pitt Panthers, baby. After a big win this weekend. 19. Missouri. 18. Ole Miss. 17. Manhattan, Kansas's own Kansas State. And 16. The team that I just said was smoke in Illinois. Indiana. Give me your thoughts, Nina, on this next tier.
Yo, Pitt. I know all you
nobody wants to play Pitt right now, bro.
All you Reggie Hammond fans and supporters must be hating that Des Reed is just cooking.
You just keep going crazy.
Okay, but whether it's on the ground or it's through the air, Des Reed does not care. He will find a way. But this dude is an absolute monster right now. He's had 3 games over 100. He's averaging close to, I think, 6 yards a whack. He's had 11 reception, 150-yard receiving day. He's had another 100-yard receiving day against Cincinnati. Bro, they are cooking. What's the gentleman's name there? Is it young Eli, right? The quarterback?
Holstein.
Oh, my goodness, right? 1,700 yards, 15 touchdowns.
Played pretty good, man.
Bro, they average 300 yards on the offensive side of the ball. It's just a first-year starter. Kid's cooking every week.
Yeah.
Every single week. I think that they're a threat. I was kind of out on them early, but I think that schedule, it's the game at the end. That's the one I talked with D now, right? Not the end. They got 2 Clemson, Louisville.
Oh, I thought you was gonna mention Syracuse because Syracuse come to town in 2 weeks and next Thursday.
Which Syracuse do we get?
Bro, it don't matter. The Syracuse gonna show up.
And then they got SMU right after that. So they got 4 tough games.
The ACC about to be a gauntlet in October, man.
It's
a gauntlet. You're gonna have to. It's only the strong will survive.
I like Mizzou right there. I think Ole Miss deserves to fall as far as they did. K-State, Indiana, I love it. I mean, they're cooking. I think Indiana, what Kurt Signetti's doing year one is stupid. Phenomenal. With 3 transfers, all of them are on fire. Rourke, Justice Ellison, running back, and then Surratt, wide receiver. They're all on fire. All hits in the transfer portal. First year coach, new system, take off.
Side note for Pitt, they got to fix these red zone. I mean, these third down problems. You can't go 1-11 on third down and expect to be in a situation like you was this past weekend and barely get by. Nope, can't happen. I need them to be better on third down.
It's going to be interesting. 2 young quarterbacks in the battle, right, against SMU. Holston.
Now that's going to be funny, funny because it's like, okay, kid, you're going to have to get out of the mud. We're going to have to see where it's coming from. But hey.
It'll be funny where they're ranked at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because right now they're back to back, but it's in November, so they got 2 more games before then. So it'll be interesting.
Ole Miss is at 18 after the
deserve to fall that fall,
and they dropped quite a bit.
10 spots.
That is a huge drop.
Oh, you lost to a team that was ranked 9 spots less than you. What was LSU? 13,
and they flip flop.
They flip flop.
LSU. We're gonna talk about LSU in a second. I'll tell you where they are.
I know where they are. Trust me.
Yeah.
I think they deserve to be there. I like K-State right where they are. I think what they're doing with
K-State, super impressive. Way to take Colorado's cookies and run off in the night.
No, it wasn't a blowout.
I wasn't expecting it to be. I thought that was going to be the best game of one of the dark horse sneaky games of the week.
It was, but there was too many other games that were just better, I think.
Listen, if we stayed up late, my treat of the night and what I went to sleep closing my eyes to was Ashton Genty running away against Hawaii and the Rainbow Warriors. And you like, why is it 11? Why is it like 12 o'clock at night where I am, but the sun is still shining? Oh yeah, they're playing in Hawaii and I get to see sunshine. Oh,
you ready for my hot take?
Go ahead. Please don't disappoint me talking trash about Genty.
Give me Caleb Johnson over Ashton
Genty. Anyways, man.
Hold on.
Manhattan,
Ashton
Kansas.
Genty's doing it against what? Circuit City University?
Stop.
LaSalle College?
Stop.
Me and you at linebacker?
This man made Georgia
Caleb
Southern.
Johnson.
This man made Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern, bro.
I don't care
Georgia
what you
Southern.
think.
I'm talking about Big Ten, Iowa. He's doing it against every Big Ten with 9 in the box, homie.
He is not Kyle Monangai. He is better than Kyle Monangai. You're not going to get bottled up like Kyle Monangai did. No. We're not about to talk about Ashton Genty like that. Put respect on that man's name.
I'll do it when he does it against the big dogs. He did it against Oregon. That's the only team he did it against that has any stout.
Come on, that's all you need.
It's not all you need. He's going to go to Dallas Cowboys, and you're going to see.
Bro, at what? Oregon is still trying to figure out what to do. You saw Trevion Henderson and Quinshawn didn't do that.
Competition. You can't say that he's not. He's playing against G5 schools.
He can't control his conference that he plays in.
If he was so good, right, then the whole thing about building a legacy and all this, why didn't you go somewhere? Because I'm pretty sure Alabama was calling you. I'm pretty sure Ohio State was calling you.
He will be the best running back on Alabama's roster right now.
I didn't say he wouldn't be. But I'm just saying he's doing it against lower level competition. Caleb Johnson is doing it against top tier competition.
Now we give Caleb Johnson his credit. We're not taking anything away from Caleb Johnson, but this ain't a Caleb Johnson conversation. Caleb can see his way out. They scored 40 points this week. Congratulations, Iowa. We're finally getting it together and deciding to score. But you talking about a kid that's action-packed galore. Did you see him hit his head post? Did you see him?
Me a clown? Wants to be rude for no reason, but because I'm talking about his team and I'm stating facts, he wants to call me a clown. I guess you can put the red nose on me, then that's fine. Well, all I'm saying is in the end, Caleb Johnson's going to have a longer NFL career, a better NFL career.
to your point, you're basically saying that Ashton Genty hasn't played anybody. And I'm saying that the teams that he has played, he has shredded. They will remember the day that Georgia Southern fans will remember the day forever that Ashton Genty had 6 rushing touchdowns and lit them to smithereens. Period. Oregon
I didn't say he
and
didn't
the Ducks.
lit them to smithereens. He lit the Oregon Ducks to smithereens. But outside of Oregon, he's playing bottom tier caliber talent teams. I'm sorry. Facts is facts, bro. I mean, if Boise State was playing, I would take James Madison over Boise State right now.
No, you are not.
Oh, yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Because James Madison's going to win the G5 bid. We'll talk about that when it happens.
James Madison still got to get through the rest of their Sun Belt
schedule. So does Boise State, homie.
I got more faith in Boise State making I have more faith than Boise State making it to a Mountain West Conference championship and being the at-large team than I do for a James Madison being it. And I love James Madison. Could have went there this past Thursday. But listen, like,
again,
I'm going to keep up.
I'm delusional. I love it. I love it.
Ashton Genty for Heisman. Listen, Kurt Cinetti is cooking up things at 16 for Indiana. We kind of led into it, but the Boise State Broncos are number 15 in the land, people. Number 15, 14, Texas A&M, 13, BYU and the Cougars, 12, touchdown Jesus, save the day again, and Notre Dame somehow, some way is still in the top 15. Tennessee's coming in at 11. What you think about this row, bro? Because this one is spicy to me.
This, I think A&M is on the come up.
Yeah.
I think Boise State, okay, will have a test against UNLV.
Oh, that one is going to be very good.
And that automatic bid that everybody thinks is
Barry
guaranteed.
Odom could just come into it and just wreck all of our plans.
HMW could come in here and go off. I think UNLV has a more complete team.
Yo, guy been looking good.
Thomas? Or HMW?
Brandon Thomas look good, but I'm talking about HMW.
Oh, he been doing his thing. Ricky White's back. Now they have a quarterback that can throw the ball, right? Linebacker, Jackson Woodward. Come on, bro.
Yo, he balled out this past weekend. He balled out. I rock with it. You said you would put A&M higher?
No, I didn't say I would put him higher. I said that they've been on a run. They're doing. I like BYU and what they're doing. If LJ Martin was healthy all year, I think they might even be winning games by a larger amount.
Call me crazy, but is it weird that I would take BYU over Tennessee and Notre Dame?
No, I don't think that's crazy. I'm saying Notre Dame is just on the name alone, buddy. Like Riley Leonard, what's he got? 3 passing touchdowns all year? Come on.
Oh man. Listen, but your boy Love looks good though. I like Love.
In the backfield?
Yeah.
Yes. They have that
burst. He got that burst.
They got 3 guys in the backfield. Payne, and I think they have another freshman as well.
I just want them to keep leaning in instead of running, playing defense. They don't got to be cute, but at this point, like they need everything in the way. They got a
big hit with Morrison going for the year.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So,
hey, as long as they still got Zay Watts, they straight.
He's gonna have to step up now. Absolutely, he's been playing great all season. I've been saying he's been underrated. That he should be a Senior Bowl guy.
Yeah, he should be.
He's having an absolute I have no problem with putting BYU over
Tennessee or Notre Dame. Yeah, I mean, I just wasn't impressed with Tennessee this past week. I thought that them having home field advantage being at Neyland was going to be like the differentiating factor. And quite frankly, I just kind of expected Florida to crumble on the road eventually, and they just didn't. So for me, it's like,
Hey, real quick, because now I'm getting annoyed. I've been quiet. This dude's pissing me the fuck off now. Okay? Because how is beating Georgia Southern, Portland State, Washington State, Utah State, and Hawaii better than teams, 85% of the teams in the Big Ten and SEC? Let me know your dealer so I can get his number because I want whatever you got.
My guy's a Boise State fan, so
that's it. Yeah, you don't want to tell me I'm delusional, I'm a retard, I'm an idiot. All right, let's keep going.
Top 10. 10, Clemson. 9, Iowa State. 8, LSU. 7, Bama. 6, Miami. Do I need to do top five? You want me to just top five?
Yeah, you
5
can
is
do the whole
Georgia.
5, yeah.
4, Ohio State. 3, Penn State. 2, Oregon, and 1, Texas. So quick rapid fire analysis. So the committee or the AP poll, I should say, value Texas's win this past weekend more than they valued Oregon's win over Ohio State. Now, the part that I like is that they didn't drop either team like all the way far. Like in past seasons, we've seen some crazy fallouts of the top 25, low in the rankings, things of that nature. But I was happy to see both Ohio State and Oregon still in the top 4 after that game. The thing that surprised me was Penn State jumping all the way up to 3.
Yeah, I don't see how 2 against a 3, right? I think that should just been a flip, especially been a 1-point victory or 1-point loss, however you want to look at it. I don't know that they valued the Texas Oklahoma game more than they valued that game, but they were already won.
They were already won.
Right. So they blew out their rival.
So my point was that, okay, if they are already won, they blew out the rival. Oklahoma is no longer in the top 25 anymore whatsoever.
Yep.
So it's like it's going to take a monumental effort in order for you to be unseated from that number 1 spot.
Yeah, I agree with that because like Oregon barely beat Ohio State. You know what I'm saying?
So this is on a barely.
If they had blown out Ohio State or beat them by, say
then we'll see
17, then I think they would have jumped Texas. You know what I'm saying? Because Texas manhandled what everybody was saying was going to be a very close game, especially after last year, how they got, beat by Oklahoma. Oklahoma's won 5 out of the last 6. So I think, the value there being at 1, maybe I can see them think, holding a little more value. But if the victory in the Buckeyes game was larger,
then it would have been a more.
And we would have more conversation.
Yeah. So this is what leads me to my next thing. So based on what we saw with Alabama, why is Alabama still in the top 10? What are we talking about?
I don't know.
I think they started the Alabamas and the Michigans, like they're starting to get annoying at this point because it's just like, bro, put them where they should be.
And the Notre Dame's.
Notre Dame's too. It's like I get the respect for the Blue Bloods, and I understand the new entries in Navy, Illinois, Army, SMU. Like I can go down the list, but to me, it's like, well, Moon, who would you put him over? I'm putting Iowa State over Alabama. Period. I'm putting Clemson over Alabama. Period. Right now, I'm putting BYU. I'm tempted to put BYU over them kids, and I'm just starting to drink a little bit more BYU Kool-Aid.
I don't know if I would put BYU in the top 10. I think at 11.
If I put them at 10, if I put them in the top 10, it would literally be at number 10 because I would be moving Clemson up. I would be moving Iowa State up. I would be moving LSU down because you literally needed overtime against Ole Miss to win. And if you dropped Ole Miss that far, then you can't get rewarded that greatly for winning that game like that. Now I get you're still season still ahead of you and everything, but that's how I would see it. What say you, my guy?
My thing is like, and you can't say strength of schedule and shit because they throw that out the window with some of the teams already. Why is an undefeated Miami team not in the top 5?
Because Penn State literally is like Penn State.
Okay, but now you have two 1-loss teams in the top 5.
Yeah, I know, but it's like you're going to give the nods and the edge to somebody, and that's the part that just makes my head hurt sometimes because I would take Miami over Georgia. I would take Miami. Dang, now we getting Miami versus Cal. Oh, that's tough. I'll take Miami over Georgia right now. Neutral site. I'll take Miami to beat Georgia.
Yeah, so it's like I just there's no respect on Miami because the ACC conference. They want to keep their big dogs at the top, and yeah, this gentleman's right. Miami struggled, but there's other teams that have struggled
Like Georgia
as well.
struggled too. Like
Yeah, you know
Georgia
what I mean.
not
But I
looking
just
dominant.
they're undefeated.
Before Ohio State played in this game, everybody was like, How was Ohio State played? Penn State, we still have question marks on Penn State on whether or not they could actually get into a big primetime game, be down, and actually win a game that they normally historically lose. Oregon, we have never really seen them in this light to where we have the expectation of them being, or normally it's the same thing. We thought Oregon would probably lose this game too against Ohio State. In fact, some people still think that they lost.
Yeah, I know, which is crazy. And
this is crazy.
The gentleman's right about voter bias. I get that, and that is true. But if we look, I'm just saying, like, there's no standard to how they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
Nah.
oh, well, these guys, their schedule. Like, I complain about people's schedule, and they have a soft schedule, but they're beating the teams they're supposed to beat by big amounts. Like the soft cupcake games, they're blowing them out by 50. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know if they're ever going to get in the top 5 because the schedule is soft the way out. Like you got Louisville, who was in the top 25, they're gone, right? Florida State.
You talking about Miami?
Yeah. That's the next. They're not. They have no top 25 games unless Syracuse turns it around somehow, which I don't think they will, or even get in there. So like they're not going to face the top 25 team the rest of the way out. So are they ever going to crack the top 5?
Unless we get Penn State loss, Ohio State loss, Georgia loss, Oregon lost to Purdue this week.
So you would like if everybody wins out on the top, top 5.
It's not going to happen because they kind of got to play each other. Ohio State and Penn State. Don't Ohio State and Penn State play each other?
Okay, so if Penn State lost to Ohio State, how far would they drop? But going by the recency
bias,
I don't think it would be
a situation.
Be in the top 5.
You would think, and you would hope so, but what they just showed us is like, look, if it's a close game, then we get 2 powerhouse opponents between Ohio State and Oregon. Like, if it's a good game and y'all both hit us up, y'all not gonna drop super far. However, if it's on the other side and it looks like abysmal, then I feel like they will drop you out, just like they did to Ole Miss.
Yeah, but agreed. But that happened already. Texas Tech, right? They lost. I mean, Texas A&M, they lost and they dropped like 14 spots. A couple of teams have already dropped.
Well, yeah, that's
dramatically. And then other teams have lost to unranked. Alabama lost to an unranked team. They should have went from 6 or 7 or 4, whatever they were, to the teens, dude.
So you just want them to be some type of consistency overall.
There's no consistency with any of it. You know
what
I mean?
If I wanted consistency, I would go to Trader Joe's. If I wanted consistency, I would go to somewhere that I know, like QT, for example. I know what I'm gonna get every single time I get there. I'm not looking for consistency in the AP poll. I just want them to kind of get it right. And I think this version of it.
You think this version is right?
I don't necessarily. You can't get it possibly right, but you got it right when you put Army and Navy in there. You got it right when you rewarding BYU. You got it right when you got Pitt in there that's undefeated. You kind of got it right when you drop Ole Miss. I don't say as far as they did, but you're rewarded Indiana. You're rewarding teams as winning, like regardless of if you think about their schedule, like Boise State.
Bro, and they had three number 18 teams last week. They couldn't even make up a decision.
That's my point. Like, they don't have to. Like, at this point, they're in a situation where they're playing with house money. Like, we are getting close, deeper and deeper into the season. So, like, last week was more wild. Like, we didn't know a lot coming into this week. There was a lot of answers to questions that were provided this week. So for example, one of the main questions that we had, well, is Army and Navy actually for real? Can we actually take them seriously? Check. Now, how serious? That's a whole other thing, but it's serious enough to be in the top 25 for the first time since I don't know when. Since the 1930s to have both Army and Navy in the top 25.
I'm cool with the Army and Navy stuff. I'm talking about consistency with how they do shit. Okay. Yeah. How is Vanderbilt not ranked? You took out Juggernauts, right? You're 4-2 in.
I saw Vanderbilt literally against Georgia State.
I take Vanderbilt over Illinois.
No. So, okay, now that we look back on it, how do you rate Vanderbilt's win versus Virginia Tech week 1?
Vanderbilt's win against Georgia Tech week 1?
No, not Georgia Tech.
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech. Yeah.
Well, we can't do that because then the Florida State victories don't matter, right? Like the teams that be ranked.
Georgia Tech ain't nowhere on this list, even though they just escaped Chapel Hill. I'm not taking no Vandy over Illinois, but I would say that
they beat Alabama, right? Who was #1 in the country, and then they beat Kentucky, who's been they've been the giant killers all year.
Man, Kentucky that lost. So
they
that's
lost
what I'm
South Carolina,
saying.
but they beat Georgia.
If we're having this conversation right now, how much harder is it for the people that's trying to make the AP poll? And I think that's where we gotta give a little grace. Like, I don't feel like they gonna get this right at all. Like, it's impossible.
49 points to Purdue, homie.
Yeah, they still won.
They beat Alabama and Kentucky in back-to-back weeks.
Kentucky, did you watch that game?
But we're going by that game. I'm talking about Kentucky's as a whole. I'm talking about everything ranking all these records as a whole, not by what they were ranked week 1. As a whole, Alabama was #1 2 weeks ago, bro.
So you're basically saying because they have a quality win, as in their win against Alabama, no matter how suspect we just talked about Alabama early in the show,
still a top 10 team regardless.
Them top 10 team regardless over that. So you think that they should be high? I mean, at least in the top 25, just based on just that. Whereas I saw them versus Georgia State, and I said to myself, that ain't the top 25 team at all. They got cooked by Ted Hurst.
They lost by 4. First of all,
they got cooked by Ted Hurst.
That's fine, but then they lost next week to a #7 Mizzou. So 3 weeks of playing top tier teams, they went 2-1.
I don't know. Like,
this is what I mean by the consistency.
I'll tell you this: if I take if I take how I feel out of it, and just like you're making a valid point for Vandy, a point that I haven't really heard yet. So for that, I give you kudos because that you're putting in Vandy Commodores fans like, oh my god, bro, where's the love at? But just like last week, we had to say to ourselves, well, some teams can't make the cut. And right now, we just gotta give love to the teams that did. Now, if you're telling me, you just said Michigan was at 24, right? You would replace a team like Vandy with Michigan?
I would put Vanderbilt in over Michigan every single Saturday this year.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't.
But they squeaked out by the chest hairs against a Minnesota team.
That game is weird from start to finish.
I agree, but they squeaked it out. The quarterback play's been atrocious. The play calling's been atrocious. Like, I would take Vanderbilt right now over Michigan. If they played this following week, I would take Vanderbilt right now. And I think you would think about it.
You take them on the neutral field?
Yeah.
Man. Because it really comes down to Diego Pavia. Like, I don't know. I don't really know any other answer. It comes down to him.
So if we want to go through the whole, the conundrum of non-consistency, right? Mm-hmm. And what ranks don't matter. Let's talk SMU, right? They beat a Louisville team that was ranked 22 that got exposed the previous week in a loss, right? Who did they lose to? Oh, let me bring it up quick.
Oh, you talking about Louisville?
Yeah, Louisville lost to Notre Dame, right? Who we all say is just kind of ranked by name alone, right? And it took 5 weeks before your quarterback found a way to pass the ball.
That's something that we got to figure out.
It's more on defense than anything else. Okay, so they beat them, Louisville, and Louisville got beat. Louisville lost to Notre Dame and then lost to SMU, and they just beat Virginia. I mean, SMU, they beat TCU. TCU scored 40 on them.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Florida State, but everybody says Florida State don't matter, right? So, and they beat Houston Christian in Nevada, bro. So it's like SMU.
Keep in mind they look shaky week 1 against week 0 against Nevada.
Right, they beat them by 5. So they
They let it go. Nevada let it go at the end. Then the week after, it wasn't pleasant because they were still dealing with quarterback problems. This is the best version of SMU that we've seen this season by far. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that.
Kevin Jenner's got some sauce right now. And I feel like once they finally made up their mind, like things have just been better. And it goes back to what KT's point was. Like, gotta make a decision, bro. Can't be playing this whole quarterback whisper conundrum game.
They have a run of ACC games to close out the year. We're gonna find out what
It's
they're
gonna
really
be a
really made of. You know what I'm saying? It's
And
just some of the teams in the top 25 and where they're ranked. I'm a little concerned. That's all.
All right, so tell me what your concern is. Team that you have the most concern with is
Teams or team?
just team. We can start one.
Notre Dame. I think they're gonna float around and somehow stick around, find a way to fall into the top 10. But I don't think they're a top 10 team because I think the committee likes the name.
Oh man, they're scheduled.
And I'm not. And this next comment isn't to go against Brian Browning. It's Boise State. I think has been a favorite of a lot of people this year. You know what I mean? I think that they're getting a lot of love right now. I just think that they also have a very, very soft schedule. And, that UNLV game is going to be a test. But if they lose that game, we're really looking at them and James Madison as a true test. I think James Madison has a nice, clear path now towards the end of the year with their schedule.
We'll get to JMU in a second. Well, I thought about something, You remember earlier in the show where you said that Navy was going to lose to Notre Dame? And that's going to put Navy outside of the top 25 race?
I didn't say Navy was going to lose. Yeah, Navy would lose. Yes. Yeah. And they're going to put them outside the top 25. That's the flavor of the week.
Okay. So my flavor of the week is this. Do you know that Notre Dame actually travels to the beautiful state of Georgia this week? And they play at Mercedes-Benz against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, fresh off of a win? Do know. Tell me this. What happens if Georgia Tech beats Notre Dame this week, but then your thing still comes true to where Notre Dame takes Navy out of the discussion? I feel like it's going to be a chaos in October, man. Chaos.
Hey, how about this? Ready? If Georgia Tech beats Notre Dame, then we're having the same conversation about Vanderbilt with Georgia Tech. They should be in the top 25.
Yeah. I mean, but they're not going to be.
Why?
Georgia Tech?
If they beat Notre Dame, they don't think that's deserving of a top 25 bid?
I mean, they...
At 5-2, beating the 12th ranked team in the country?
No.
Then I don't understand.
Like, to me,
how we're doing this. I don't understand how we do this stuff.
Listen, to me, I look at it from this perspective. All right. We don't look at Florida State the same, nowhere near, but at that point in time, Florida State was where they were. So that counts. They do got to win over Georgia State. That counts.
They lost by 3 to Syracuse.
They lost. That's where
3 though. Not blown out.
You said, to your point, a loss is an L. We hold the L and we put earn
That's
next
not what
to
I
it,
said.
and we learn.
That I said. I did not say that an L is an L. I said if you got blown out, you should drop far, right?
Yes, if you got blown out, you drop far. So that goes to your point about it being number 3. Only 3 points. However, the L is still the L. They bounced back the next week. I went to that game, Georgia Tech versus VMI. Yep. They started off a little slow to me, but then they put the points on them, and then there was nothing to worry about. Game was over by halftime for real. Then the next week, they have another L at Louisville. That's 2 already. Okay. That's 2. So then, even though you beat a Duke that was undefeated at the time, you still have 2. You have another win on the road versus Chapel and Chapel Hill. Kind of crazy environment. You win. Jamal Haynes walk-off touchdown. And now you get into Notre Dame. Let's say you beat Notre Dame. I'm supposed to look at your schedule now and say, you still lost in a kind of a blowout fashion to Louisville. if I keep it a buck with you, the
Louisville was
Syracuse,
ranked at the time.
even though Georgia Tech lost to Syracuse by only 3 points, that game was not close for real. That game was not close. You watch that game, it was not close at all, bro. Georgia Tech had literally less than. I'm sorry, I just got frustrated all over again.
But what does that say for the team that they lost to?
Syracuse, that we should maybe take Syracuse more seriously.
Less seriously? Because Georgia Tech came back on them? You just said that the game wasn't close.
No, it wasn't, but they rallied in the fourth quarter to put some stuff together, and they still lost. Kyle McCord diced them up. Kyle McCord looked amazing that game. They had no answers for Rondé Gatchin. They had no answer for Pena. And you know how those two get active. And Georgia Tech did not do a good job tackling that game. So, no, I'm not going to reward them for barely losing 3 points and then still having a loss against Louisville.
Then we got to go back and recirculate to some of these other teams if we're not going to keep them in the top 25 for barely losing. This is what I'm talking about, the consistency. This is why I get annoyed, because it doesn't make any sense. There's no consistency on how they rank it, whether it's a loss. There's no consistency on whether they rank it as a loss or a win against a ranked team, right? There's no consistency on the strength of schedule. There's no consistency on if a ranked guy loses to an unranked team. There's none of that.
Well, to your point, if I want consistency, I'm going to QT. If I don't want consistency, I'm going to McDonald's and asking for ice cream. I'm not getting no ice cream at McDonald's. They actually machine vote most of the time.
So you're cool with some guy voting. You trust it. Your consistency doesn't have to be consistent by some guy in the back in a closet putting a vote in.
I'm a voter for Big 12, and I picked Houston. Houston was one of the teams I finished to pick last, and I picked Arizona State to finish last in the conference. And to my surprise, Arizona State is 5-1 with an upset over Utah.
But that's why you're not in the AP poll top 25 vote.
Right. I'm not a voter in the AT top 25 poll, but I'm still going to probably end up being right with Kansas State. Hopefully.
All I know is when I want a product that I'm going to watch every weekend that gives me an outcome, I want a consistent outcome.
It's hard to do that. It's too many variables. It's way too many variables, bro. But to end it all, there's two Big 12 teams that have a high percentage of a chance to, cook. I'm not leaving out Kansas State, but just based on where we are right now, they already got a loss versus Iowa State and BYU that don't have a loss yet. So those are the two highest representatives of the Big 12. And then for the ACC, two highest representatives are both in the top 10. But the back end of it with Miami at 6 and Clemson is sitting there looking at you at 10. I mentioned those two conferences as we wrap it up because, we had a question that came in like, which conference between the ACC and the Big 12 is like having the most bumps in the road right now this year. And which one would you look at in the projected future? But if you had to say like, dang, who's the team who wins the Big 12 at this place? And to go deeper with the question, like, who ends up making it through this gauntlet at the ACC? Like, what you thinking?
I think, and it's probably not the answer everybody's thinking, but I think Clemson wins the ACC.
That's my pick. I've been rocking
Garrett
with them
Riley
all year.
and Klubnik are finally locked in. They're clicking on all cylinders. So you can check the numbers. His numbers are astronomical. They're up there with the top quarterbacks in the league. They're learning how to use Phil Moffitt the right way. He's not Will Shipley, so don't use him like Will Shipley. Agent Zero, Antonio Williams is healthy, and when he's healthy, right? When he's healthy and what he can do on the field is absolutely unbelievable.
Hey, you see my guy Peter?
You got Peter
Woods.
Peter Woods, yeah.
All he knows is high school state championships.
Yeah, Peter Woods. I love Sammy Brown. True freshman at linebacker for Clemson.
They're giving them more playing time.
He's got a lot of playing time in the last two games. Seems like they figured it out in that linebacker room. Let Carter kind of play on the outside. Let Brown play in the middle. He's more of that, explosive coverage guy. He can do like what Trotter Jr. did, because that's not what Barrett Carter is.
Yeah.
I like. if they stay on the trajectory that they're going, they keep playing the same way they play, and Dabo doesn't let his ego get in. But I think Dabo's cool with winning. So I think Dabo's cool with checking his ego and letting Garrett Riley run the offense a little bit more.
It's gonna be some tough games. They got Virginia coming up this week at home. I think
I
that
think they're
game.
gonna put Virginia in their place.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt about that one. But it's in a couple of weeks when they got to go to. I think at the beginning of November, November 4th, if I'm not mistaken, where they got to go to Pittsburgh. Oh, you better believe if Pittsburgh is still rocking, that's gonna be a hard game to win.
Oh yeah,
Hard, very hard. But I'll put my bet as Clemson as a favorite in the ACC, and that's no slight to Miami. It's just the fact that I really do feel like Georgia was the best thing that happened to Clemson this year.
Yeah,
the best thing. It was
absolutely.
like
wake up call.
Yeah, wake up call, blessing in disguise, almost. And then it gets to the elephant in the room, Big 12. The question in the chat was, who wins between Iowa State and BYU? That's $1 million question. Well, my money was on the line, bro. I'm betting on Matt Campbell.
I'm taking Iowa State.
Yeah, I'm betting on Matt Campbell. I saw his post-game interview, and he just has a calm. You talk about consistency. That's consistency right there. That's the topic of the last.
I want consistency.
That is consistency right there.
I just think Iowa State. They probably can match them punch for punch, physicality on the offensive side of the ball. But BYU won't be able to throw. I think they will get to Rhett's lap. I think that secondary for Iowa State is top notch. I mean, I think they have something like 10 or 12 pass breakups this 16 pass breakups. So they fly around in that secondary. They also, can play in the box and get down and tackles for loss. They're good in the run game, which is what BYU's MO is, running the ball. So I love the Cinderella story, right? You got the BYU with a Jewish quarterback. So it's pretty crazy.
Shout out to their crowd, bro. BYU's energy is so fantastic whenever
the mood at the stadium with the mountains in the back, bro.
This is fire.
It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I agree. I think Iowa State's defense, that secondary is legit. And hey, don't sleep on Rocco.
Rocco
Beck is having an absolute, quiet, good year for them. I think he's somewhere around 66%. He's got 10 touchdowns and 3 picks. I'll take that. 1,500 yards. He's doing his thing. And Jalen Noel, bro. Come on.
Listen, 200-yard games this season, pair scores.
Every catch he makes is go up there, contest the catch, go get it. It's like a highlight reel. I think the kid's going to be a stud.
I agree. Last thing, Iowa State 6-0 for the first time since 1938. Yeah. Long time since they. And Matt Campbell's the Iowa State's winningest head coach. So I just feel like this is the year where they were all forgotten in a muddy. Big 12 had a lot of expectations coming into this year.
Oh, I agree. Don't sleep on that final game.
I'm not.
Against Kansas State, that game could be the Big 12 decider.
Very much so, especially if Kansas State keeps winning out. And
I mean, it's at home for Iowa State, so that's huge.
Yeah, but it's still gonna matter because if Iowa State keeps playing how they are, that could be a battle between undefeated versus a one loss for.
You could be looking at 7 versus 12.
Yeah.
For the Big 12 championship.
Man, coach, Matt Campbell, dog.
Yo, Seneca Wallace was a
dog,
a Madden highlight reel. Right?
Oh man, do you know that he's defeated every Big 10 and Big 12 school on the road and at home?
Really?
Both program first for Iowa State. This man is he's.
I told you an hour. We went for 2.
What people thought that Utah's head coach was, that's what Matt Campbell is. No shade. I'm not, but I'm just saying. Iowa State, man. I had to put respect.
Cyclones, baby.
Cyclones, baby. All right, you got any final thoughts before we close this one out, man? We've been going heavy and strong over.
No, it was a great episode. I want to shout, he got me hot for a little bit. But shout out to the Brian Browning in the chat. He's been in there, most of the night,
Yeah,
pumping up the comments and stuff. We appreciate you. Come on back next week. I'd love to have you in the comments again.
He was in there earlier for college football showdown. So he coming back being active. And shout out to all the people that was watching tonight, man. Especially having to deal with my big head. I'm feeling it for W. Like, what's Moon doing here, man?
We're growing. Like, YouTube's growing. Channels are growing. We're getting out there. College football. I wish it was all year round, right?
It is.
For us, it is. But I wish we could watch it all year round. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
it'll be interesting. Another week, another week of solid football. We'll be back next week to talk about it on Overreaction Mondays, my man.
We are, man. Make sure you stay safe, stay tuned, keep it locked, and always know that in this world that we live in the college football world, there is no such thing as maybe that you got another week to redeem yourself. No, every week you got to bring an A game, survive in advance, man. That's why college football is the greatest sport in the world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today I am the governor of college football. Yes, sir. The mayor of college football, aka downtown Nino Brown.